Hey guys, what's up? I am here to give you guys a recap on Haikyuu Riku vs. Ku, or you could call it, in other words, Haikyuu Land vs. Air. On both episodes 1 and 2, which is both titled respectively Land vs. Air and The Path of the Ball. These two episodes were actually very fun. I never realized how much Haikyuu was so intense that it's been so long that I watched the last freaking series. Like, how many years has it been? Like, seriously, it's been like October 2016 since Haikyuu Karasuno Koko versus Shira Torizawa Gakuen Koko. Like, literally, it's been like 3 years and how many months already that I even watched the series of Haikyuu. I mean, I remember when I got into Haikyuu like many years ago thanks to a couple of friends convincing me, and yeah, makes me want to try to play volleyball and hit the ball, spike it, man. Anyways, enough of me being a little cringe, which I always am. Let's just get this recap started. The first episode, Land vs. Air, was actually very fun. Although, there were some comedic moments which I don't find very too important. I mean, maybe it does make a little bit sense in the end when it shows up in the second episode. That's if you guys ever watched it. In the first episode, we get to see Fukuro Dani Academy up against Nekoma High School. And we all know Nekoma. I mean, we did see them in action when they fought Karasuno, and dang, they are not like simpletons. They are a dead serious, strong defensive team, and it shows that in this episode. However, when it comes to Fukuro Dani Academy, along with the guy, along with our freaking what's his name again? Boruto guy? Bokuto. I don't know why I said Boruto. My gosh, forgive me on that. That guy is very, very slick when it comes to shots of his spikes. Like when it comes to line shots or cross shots. But there's a little weakness in him when it comes to certain things. Like, he'll remember to do this thing so many times, but he'll forget how to do it the other time. But it doesn't really matter anyway, because throughout the time when Nekoma faces Fukuro Dani Academy, in the end, they still won. And the score was in these sets right here. All I know is whether it's the first set or the second set, all I know is it's it was 28-30 and 21-25. Nekoma and Fukuro Dani. And in other cases, Fukuro Dani Academy won straight up two the sets, flawlessly. Well, I mean, not to a point it was easy for them, but they pretty much won their set. It was 28-30 if I remember correctly, and then 21-25 the way how it's shown or it was given to me. Eventually, though, they will later on take on Itachi Yama Institute, which is their next opponent, which I will talk about that after I get into the next match for Nekoma, because apparently the next match that Nekoma had to face in order for them to secure a spot in in the spring tournament national tournament whatsoever, is that they are facing up against Nohebi Academy. And Nohebi Academy, apparently I get to know a little bit about them in the second episode. But at the same time, it was already obvious from the get-go how they do things. Like, they'll wrap the ref around their finger, or they provoke or put out slurs or some kind of trash talking to other players to provoke them to make them lose their performance or mentality, I mean, if you guys watch the episodes Haikyuu Land vs. Air, and which is currently available on Crunchyroll, by the way, only to premium members or something, which, yeah. It was pretty slick. And seeing them in action right now, dang dude, they were pretty dangerous. Not to mention when it comes to Nekoma against Nohebe, they seem to have to be on par with each other. Now I know what you guys might be asking me, what do you mean by on par with each other? What do you mean exactly? What I mean is that they'd be scoring points back and forth, and they will be very close with each other. But in terms of almost scoring a point, Nohebe always finds a way to strike back somehow. But eventually, when it came towards the end of the first episode, Land vs. Air, apparently one of their good players, Yakusan whatsoever, Yakusan if anything, he ends up having he will later on get himself injured, and someone else will have to sub in for him, which is Yashiwabawa, I think. Shibayama. My gosh, I know. Forgive me, but there's so many characters in this series in this team that unless they got a lot of spotlight or something, I won't be able to remember them too much. Either that, unless they are very important to me or something. I don't know. All I know is Kenma will always be the one to keep the team together in order to get the performance boosted up or to keep the performance at its peak level. Anyways, as the episode continues on in this episode, which is episode 2, which is the path of the ball, that's where things gotten really, really tense. I mean, Nekoma will later on win the first set by making some kind of surprise attack. For example, they'll have Leif going to go after the ball, but instead they'll have their number 1, which is their Kuro Tetsuro, to spike the ball, and they take the first set. The second set is where things gotten really dangerous for everyone else, because when it comes to endurance, we get to know Nekoma is the only kind of team that they could survive in terms of endurance and limitless, in terms of endurance, Nekoma would be the one to survive that. But so is Nohebe. Nohebe is known to be a slithering, sneaky snake, which is shown in the second episode of Haikyuu, Land vs. Air, episode 2, The Path of the Ball. But when it comes to working together, at least for now, when Left seems to understand what Shibayama says, I got your back whatsoever, they will later on actually take advantage of that. Well, I mean, Leif will sooner or later understand that, have the guy go after Shibayama, he will hit the ball right in the air, and then boom, later on they will score a point and take the second set, and they won 2 sets flawlessly. And Nohebe will later on be eliminated from the match. To be honest with you, I actually wanted Nekoma to win, though it was really tense to know which team was gonna go after it because of how tense they are. Not to mention, Kema, remember getting a message from Hinata we're gonna go to the spring finals, or spring national tournament. We won against Shiratorizawa whatsoever, etc. And it was pretty tense, though I also feel sad for the other team as well, because, they worked their butts off as well. I mean, it really sucks that they don't have a lot of screen time, but the intensity, how it was shown, and how it was adapted in these 2 episodes was actually really good. Although Nohebe is really, how am I supposed to say it? Sneaky slur talkers, trash talkers, I don't like that, but in order to win your game, to get your point, I can understand that, but still, even so, Nekoma still won, even though they had their ups and downs and they have an injured player, they still won, and that was pretty good of them. And Hinata gets a message from Kenma by saying, "Oh, we're gonna go to the spring. We're gonna go to the spring tournament. See you there," because they finally earned a spot in the where they could go to the tournament. And as for Fukuro Dani up against Itajaya Institute, those guys are not a joke either. I was really shocked to see how freaking dangerous these guys are, and it looks like to me they beat Fukuro Dani pretty badly. I mean, the first set they won. I mean, when it came to the first set they lost, but the second set they won by 6 points or something, and then the third set they won by another couple points. But it was a very close match though. It was Fukuro Dani and Ichijiyama were almost on true par with each other. Although this match was not entirely shown, it was shown that Fukuro Dani beat them in the first set, but Ichijiyama comes back, beats them 6 points ahead in the second set. The third set is where they managed to beat them barely by 2 points, or they beat them by 2 points. And of course, that's when the results came in. The Ichijiyama Institute and Fukuro Dani Academy are the representative slots that take both of them. And venue-sponsored representative Nekoma High School took that spot from Nohebe. And then, yeah. Then there was a post-credit scene. Hinata was about to go for a run, but he gets chased down by a boar, and then the episode ends off. Anyways, these 2 episodes were actually very fun. I look forward to seeing what Haikyuu is gonna have in mind for me. It's been so long. Like I said, it's been so freaking long that I watched Haikyuu. Like I said, it's been like almost 3 years already. Like October 2016 is when we had our last Haikyuu anime, and that's when Karasuno Koko was up against Shiratozawa Gakuen Koko, you know? And that happened in October 2016, and it's been like 3 years and like 3 years and 3 months that that I haven't seen a Haikyuu anime, and just watching some episodes back then, a little bit here and there, it just brings back so much intensity, and I'm pretty excited again. Anyways, I'm gonna go watch the newest episode of Haikyuu, which is called Haikyuu to the Top whatsoever. So be sure to look forward to that episode, to that recap coming up soon. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out. Bye bye. Toot toot.